तस्मै Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा. So welcome all the devotees. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto 12th chapter, sharing rights. Prabhu, sharing right is not there. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Okay, so we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, chapter 12. Dhruv Maharaj goes back to Godhead. So in that we are on verse 30. In the previous verse, just to make the continuation, maybe one devotee can read. It's not visible here. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. Do we have a mic? Where is mic?
Before getting aboard, Dhruv Maharaj worshipped the aeroplane, circumambulated it, and also offered obeisances to the associates of Vishnu. In the meantime, he became as brilliant and illuminating as molten gold. He was thus completely prepared to board the transcendental plane.
So in the purport, Prabhupada writes about the divine nature of all the paraphernalia of the Lord. The plane was divine, the Vishnu Dutas were divine, and as Dhruv Maharaj circumambulated, he also became
Divine.
such divine, well, divine in the sense his body became Satchitananda body, and he stepped over the death personified. So he tells that temple is in the mode of transcendence, not goodness. It is transcendental, so we should also see the paraphernalia of the Lord as with great respect, and that is the means for our going back to Godhead also. So this place is Vaikunta. Now we'll go to text 30. Tadottana pada putro tadarshantakamagantam mrityurmurdhini padam datva aruro adbhutam griham.
When Dhruv Maharaj was attempting to get on the transcendental plane, he saw death personified approach him. Not caring for death, however, he took advantage of the opportunity to put his feet on the head of death, and thus he got up on the aeroplane, which was as big as a house.
That airplane was as big as house. So Dhruv Maharaj, death personified, he stepped over. You have seen that painting, na? He's stepping over death and climbing. Very beautiful picture. Read.
While ascending the transcendental airplane, Dhruv Maharaj suddenly saw death personified before him. But he was not afraid. Instead of death's giving him trouble, Dhruv Maharaj took advantage of death's presence and put his feet on head of death.
And the analogy is given of
Cat carries its kittens in its mouth, and it also catches a rat in its mouth.
So for the kitten, the cat's mouth is like the embrace and love and the protection of her mother, and for the rat, it is death personified. Similarly, for Krishna, for devotee, the death is actually an embrace of Krishna. He is going to Krishna. Here, Vishnu Dutas have already come. He is going to Krishna, and this third class, 10th class metal body gone. It is great joy, you know. And for a materialist, it's like the finish. It's a dead end to all his material plan making and all the accumulations that he had done. All the people and the projects and the money and everything is going to be stripped away from him. So it's the biggest nightmare. Death. Trayato mahato bhayat. So it's the biggest fear to get death. You know, people, hey, don't talk about death. Why are you so pessimistic? It is not pessimism, it is realism. You know, death aata hi hai, as sure as death. But for a devotee, death comes as Krishna actually. Krishna is there actually. So Krishna for the materialist is Kalosmi, you know. So Kal comes and finishes them. But a devotee does not care. Actually, we talk about birth, old age, disease, that like, you know, bachcho ka game, you know. Har roz we talk about death. Actually, people don't talk about death in the world outside. Hey, death is a very serious issue. Don't talk about. They fear. क्या क्या बात कर रहे हो? ऐसे बातें मत करो. हम तो हर रोज भागवतम के बारे में. But one thing is we have to see whether we have also transcended the fear of death. No? Well, one thing is like, say, suppose now someone attacks you, so you should, in self-defense, protect yourself. But do we fear death or do we fear spiritual loss? Like, say, suppose if I offend a Vaishnava, that is the biggest loss in my life. No? Like in COVID, people who have, even devotees became fearful of death. You know? So why to become fearful of death? If Krishna wants to keep us, then he will keep us. Yes, we should take precaution as a service to Krishna. But if there is fear, that means there is some problem. So we have to rise above this fear of death. So that means there is some kind of attachment to this bodily existence actually. When Muktinath, some devotees had gone and they had gone on a kind of a trip. Muktinath is a holy place, but it's a very dangerous place to go to because the trip is very thrilling. There is a flight that you have to catch from Kathmandu, and that flight almost always crash lands. So, yeah, it's a very dangerous. You can only have a light plane, and there is a lot of winds blowing, so it many times crashes. So, but still people go, and some 10 devotees went from Gopinath for that trip, and when they went, then it crash landed. And then it was such a big loss. All died. And then Srila Radhanath Maharaj flew back from America to pacify the hearts of the devotees, who were not just saddened by the devotees' departure in terms of losing their association, but they were bewildered by how can Krishna do this? You know, how can this happen to devotees? So when people say accident, how can Krishna, how accident can happen for devotees? So how do you understand something is an accident, Prabhu? Any idea? Accident. What do you call as an accident? Like they died and we call something as an accident. What is an accident?
Without our endeavor, mistake, plan, no plan, or
Without our
not voluntary taking risk.
accident. Accident is accidentally.
Unexpected incident.
अनएक्सपेक्टेड इंसिडेंट ओके अरे अरे अच्छा खासा कल तक तो देख ही रहे थे आज क्या हो गया इसको नो अरे बस वो सीढ़ी से फिसले और हो गया वो खत्म हो गया नो अच्छा खासा अभी तो मैं उससे बात कर रहा था अभी क्या हो गया नो यू नो व्हाट इज एक्सीडेंट accident is just something that we did not conceive of as a plan which can happen in the immediate future. It was something which was unpredictable in our mind, but it happens and it causes some damage. But like if Krishna plans to make his devotee live through an accident, so still it can be possible and Krishna can take him back to Godhead. Has Krishna said that death should happen in a very sophisticated hospital or in a very nice way, then only he will go back to Godhead? No. He will give him remembrance and take him back to Godhead. People feel bewildered when accident happens. Like one devotee was driving his parents on a road and he was driving at a decent speed and it was highway kind of thing, and then the one dog came in front of him. So to protect the dog, he turned the car suddenly and the car slid, because suddenly when you do it, sometimes the car goes off the track, and then both the parents died there only. So he was wanting to protect the dog from death, and both parents died. He was driving. He got saved, whatever. So now someone will say, क्या है ये, ऐसा कैसे कर दिया कृष्णा ने, अच्छा खासा दो डिवोटीज, वो भी का एक व्यक्ति को बचाने चले तो दूसरे का डेथ कर दिया. So actually we have a lot of mundane conceptions about how Krishna should orchestrate our life. We should not carry any mundane conceptions. Like Srila Radhanath Maharaj was telling, imagine, Srila Radhanath Maharaj, Chandamali Maharaj, one of them was telling that imagine, say you were about to fall down the next day and Krishna took you away. So which is better? You would like to die or fall down? Whole life you spent in Krishna consciousness in Brahmachari life, and next day you are going to fall down and then Krishna takes you away and takes you back to Godhead. Or let us keep it even simpler. Say you are in ashram life, doing nice devotional service, preaching, many devotees are happy with you. And one day Krishna makes you, slip on the staircase and you die. And you are back to Godhead. So is it good or bad? What do you say? How many of you like to go back to Godhead like that? Or you will say, भगवान मारना है तो थोड़ा अच्छे स्टाइल में मारना है ना ऐसा भी क्या है मारने, संकीर्तन करते हुए मारना मुझे, थोड़ा लोगों को लगे तो कि गया होगा सही जगह पे, लोगों को इंप्रेशन आना चाहिए, लोगों को लगना चाहिए गॉडेड गया होगा. ये क्या स्लिप हो गया, मर गया बेचारा, शायद गॉडेड गया होगा, नहीं गया होगा, पता नहीं. थोड़ा ऐसा है, वाइब्रेशन हो चारों तरफ, लोग बोले श्योरली ही मस्ट हैव गॉन बैक टू गॉडेड. कितना कितना ऑस्पिशियस स्टाइल में मर रहा है ये, For a devotee, actually, external circumstances is something Krishna will allow him to do. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. When we want all these external, of course, we would love that devotees are surrounding us and there's kirtan and all. But we should not think that if something happens, accidentally, something, कार एक्सीडेंट में मारा गया तो वो गोलोक नहीं जा सकता क्या? कहीं लिखा है क्या? Krishna is in that plan also. There is no accident happens without some sanction of Krishna, right? So we should not get into this track of fear of death. Nothing is, no COVID virus can kill you without Krishna's intervention. Rakhe Krishna, mare Krishna, rakhe. So we should remain fearless. We should be actually, at least We should try for spiritual platform of existence, क्या death तो आना ही है एक दिन, Like imagine institution में, suppose, say we get a cancer. An institution cannot take care of that difficult a cancer. Blood cancer पूरे में फैल गया है, 25 lakh rupees का operation ही है. And it is so difficult that your body will go through pain and you will go through more pain because of the treatment also. So मरना ही है एक दिन. So on a personal note, we should not have any fear of. ठीक है, मर जाएंगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम क्या है, मरने के लिए आए हैं. ये जगत में आए, जातक से ध्रुव मृत्यु. अगर मरना है, इफ it is most predictable that we will die because we have been born. So if we don't show fearlessness in death, then the world will not have an example actually. We should have clarity that we are here to die, and I should live my life in such a way that Krishna will take care of me. We can't even guarantee the last thought, right? Can you guarantee what will be your last thought? I will remember Krishna. I'll be in a very divine place. No? कुछ हो सकता है क्या? भगवान कर दे योजना तो अच्छी बात है, लेकिन सेटिंग से भी नहीं हो सकता. Some people stay in विधवा आश्रम in the dham so that they can die in the dham. And then for some treatment, they go to Delhi for some dental treatment and there they die. So what is calculatable? Hardly anything can be calculated actually. One should have pure heart to serve Krishna. We are not like that song is there na, इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले, है ना, क्या है, यमुना का तट हो तुम्हारे, क्या,
गोविंद नाम लेकर ये प्राण तन से निकले.
हाँ, इतना तो करना स्वामी. ऐसे तो जैसे हमने बहुत भक्ति किया है, इतना तो करना स्वामी, हाँ, हमारी भक्ति याद करना, है ना. एक्चुअली वी शुड नेवर थिंक दैट वी डिजर्व द मर्सी ऑफ द लॉर्ड. और इतना तो किया, अभी तो भगवान को करना ही पड़ेगा. वी आर ऑलवेज इन द मूड ऑफ बेगिंग दैट लॉर्ड kindly take care of me, whatever you can, whatever best. You are always merciful. I am just a beggar. And we should have full faith in Krishna's merciful plan. Whatever he does, he will do best. More, better than what you can plan for yourself. Did you plan devotional service? Did you plan? Anyone came to devotional service by plan, Prabhu? Anyone? बचपन से आस लगाए थे, कॉलेज जाऊंगा, भक्ति पकड़ लूंगा, फिर भक्ति करूंगा. किसी ने प्लान बनाया था क्या? तो भगवान ने प्लान बना के इधर तक लाए, तो भगवान ही प्लान बनाएगा आगे का भी. So no, his plans are better than our plans. We should be fearless about all these things. Actually. All types of insecurities that people carry in brahmachari ashram is actually basically they have some false shelter. They have not taken shelter of pure devotional ideas. What can be insecurities? जब मैं बूढ़ा हो जाऊंगा तो ख्याल रखेगा कि वो मेरा क्या इंस्टीट्यूशन ख्याल रखे नहीं रखे, भगवान तो है ना. और भगवान अगर नहीं रखना चाहते ख्याल तो ठीक है, मर ही जाएंगे ना. व्हाट विल बी द वर्स्ट केस विच हैपन? मर जाएंगे, ठीक है, मरने के लिए तो बैठे हैं. व्हेन विल आई डाई, व्हेन विल आई मीट लॉर्ड, व्हेन विल आई मीट रूप गोस्वामी? इधर इधर सड़े हुए जगत के अंदर रहने के लिए बैठे गए. We are here to go. We want to get out of this messy place. So just be prepared for leaving actually, to leave. इधर साम्राज्य बनाने के लिए नहीं बैठे हैं. What? Bhakti Siddhanta? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one disciple was very attached to going home. So he was wanting to go from Mayapur to Calcutta for going to home. So Bhakti Siddhanta would not allow him. Then one day he became so sick that he was going to die. So eventually going to die. Then soon, then Bhakti Siddhanta told the other disciple that you take him home. He said, no, I want to die in Mayapur. I want to die in Mayapur. He said, no, you have to take him home now. So forcefully all the disciples took him in towards Calcutta. And he died on the way only. All the disciples became bewildered. What is this? How could Guru Maharaj be so cruel? Whole life he wanted to go home and he was not allowed. And now when he was about to die, he was sent home when he was supposed to die in Dham. So they asked Guru Maharaj, please enlighten us what happened. He said, see, if he had gone home earlier, he would have become consumed in material life. But when he was about to leave body, then he wanted to live in Dham. And I sent him home because if he had been in Dham, he would have remembered home. And because he was going towards home, he was feeling separation from Dham. So he was feeling the presence of Dham while he was going home. That is why he left in Dham consciousness. So that's why I sent him home. And so our acharyas are very fine-tuned personalities. ना अपना क्या है ग्रॉस आइडिया रहता है नो यमुना का तट हो ये हो वो हो नो और क्या अंदर भुक्ति हो तो फिर क्या फायदा है ना so auspicious life means a genuine life of Krishna consciousness. And
Guruji, here, आप
बोलिए.
Here, Dhruv Maharaj respected all, paid obeisances to everyone. But how to understand, he stepped on head of death. So he's in respectful mode. Now, how can he... How to
Step on
understand?
death means
Not physically.
bye-bye. Get lost.
Not physically stepping.
Don't think Yamaraj was sitting there. It's a matter of personifying that he conquered death. It's the point of conquering death. Even see, when we think now, stepping on the head of someone, is it like some disrespectful thing? If a pure devotee like Nityananda who put his lotus feet on Raghunath Dasguru, so is he proud? Actually, they are beyond all this what nonsense we have now. अपना क्या एक पैर रखा तो मतलब हम बहुत बड़े हो गए ना. They are absorbed in super ananda, nityananda, like So all these personalities are not in this idea of disrespect or they are respectful to death also, but he's not fearful of death. That's the idea. He has conquered death. He has conquered the fear of death. When Mataji was living in Hyderabad, actually she was told that you will leave body soon. So she took the message very happily. Arey wah, very nice. And all the relatives were crying. And then she said, why are you crying? I should cry for you. I am going back to Godhead. I should cry for you that you are here in this matter world. You are still stuck up. I am going. So she was not at all having any problem about her going, her leaving the body. Sometimes people come to give santana. कोई बात नहीं होता है. Actually, great souls give consolation when they are going back to Godhead. कि तुम अभी यहीं पे पड़े हो, थोड़ा भक्ति करते रहना, फिर आज ना वहाँ पे मिलेंगे, Yeah. Sridhar Swami Maharaj, when he was living, he had got cancer, and it come to Mayapur, and he was called as Jolly Swami. So when he was leaving, the doctor was checking his stomach. Cancer tumor had grown very big. The stomach was bloated up like that. So he put a stethoscope there. He said, "So doctor, is it a boy or a girl?" So when he's just a day before death, he's making the doctor laugh. These people, doctor said, no one can laugh at that time actually. Cancer, when it has spread so badly across the whole body, you cannot, it's tormenting pain actually. That means the person is gone. Yeah. I heard about His Holiness Pund Chandra Swami Maharaj. He got operation done over his body, cut the body without anesthesia. He said, don't give me anesthesia. Can you imagine? Operation, आपका body खुला हुआ है. Usually anesthesia क्यों देते हैं? क्योंकि the pain cannot be, that fellow will die out of pain actually. So, but beyond the bodily consciousness. Bhakti Maharaj was saying, he was giving solace to all the people who were coming to meet him. And he told Radhanath Maharaj, the plane is coming, I can see the plane is coming. He told, because no one can see the plane until he has come to that standard, like Dhruv Maharaj was saying. So he said, plane is coming and I can see 2 seats are there. 2 seats. And I have decided to take my Maha friend with me. So Maharaj ko bol rahe hain. Maharaj ne bola, you can carry me in your heart, Maharaj. Imagine both of them. महाराज को लगता अच्छा चांस मिला, चलो चलते हैं वापिस. अपना क्या होता फिर?
हमारा प्लेन छूट जाता.
हमारा प्लेन कभी नहीं आता. तो महाराज ने बोला ठीक है, इनकी सेवा में थोड़ी दिन रहता हूँ. और all these great souls are beyond all this. His Bhakti Charu Maharaj, actually he he told that, what is the use of staying here? I should be like Vasudev Dutt in the, and we should go be ready to go to hell. America is hell. And he went time and again to go towards America. He endeavored a lot. Finally, he went on a very expensive flight. It was like a chartered flight almost. And he had never made insurance. But this time when he went, he had got, he told Krishna Prabhu, his assistant, that you have make an insurance, health insurance. Okay. So he got one insurance made. He said, what insurance you have made? So he had made one normal insurance. He said, make it the best, highest paying insurance, return, मतलब जो आ जाए. और फिर क्या हुआ, वहाँ पे जाके एडमिट हो गए और वहाँ पे चले गए. And when he left, after that, all crores of rupees of bill which came, it was all paid by insurance. तो महाराज का पहले से ही प्लान था. देखो भाई, प्रभुपाद जी ने बुलाया अभी नेक्स्ट लीला में सेवा करना है, तो उनको कोई डर नहीं है ना. वो तो जा ही रहे हैं, चलो चलो निकलता हूँ. किसी को बताया बिना, किसी भी कॉन्फिडेंशियल एसोसिएट को भी नहीं बताया, चुपचाप निकल चले. सो दीज पीपल आर ऑल गेट सेट गो. श्रीला गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज, बिफोर द डिपार्चर ऑन द कार्तिक टाइम, ही हिमसेल्फ टोल्ड, इधर मेरा समाधि बनाना है ना. और बाद में निकल गए. सो पर्सनैलिटीज नो व्हाट हैज टू बी डन. इन लोगों को यहाँ पे थोड़ा दिन रोएंगे, लेकिन मेरे को जाना है, मेरा नेक्स्ट सेवा वहाँ पे चालू है. सो प्लानिंग वहाँ पे ऊपर चलता है. लॉर्ड चैतन्य नित्यानंद प्रभुपाद बैठे होंगे, बोलेंगे देखो अभी वो जो पार्षद है ना अपना, उधर उधर दूसरी लीला में ले लो. प्रभुपाद बोलेंगे ओके, सेनापति भक्त है ना. तो फिर स्ट्रेटेजी प्लानिंग क्या होगा कि इधर से वो डिवोटी जाएगा, फिर वो 20 साल थोड़ा बड़ा होगा बच्चे से, बेबी से, फिर उसके बाद वो आर्मी में ज्वाइन हो जाएगा. तो वो पहले से 20 साल पहले प्लानिंग करेंगे तो उधर से निकलना होगा, है ना. ऐसे स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग होता है भगवान का. अभी यहाँ से अगर सपोज जगदीश्वर मोहन प्रभु को अमेरिका भेजना है, तो कैसे भेज सकते हैं? वीजा बना के फ्लाइट पे भेज सकते हैं. अगर प्लूटो में प्रीचिंग करने भेजना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा?
ट्रेनिंग,
बॉडी
चेंज करना पड़ेगा.
तो अभी उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? बॉडी चेंज करो, उधर जाके मिशन करने का है बस. उसका प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना? सेवा करने का है बस.
बिल भी लिख दिया था महाराज ने सारे. वो
बिल सब लिख दिया था. सब सेट होता है उनका, है ना. यस यस. पर्जन्य प्रे प्रभु. अरे यार, तो 12:30 इसी में बजा दिया मैंने. अभी अभी निकल जाते हैं आगे.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हाँ.
Prabhuji, I also speak too much about death, that we have to die, we have to be careful of death. We should see death so that we can focus on bhakti, that there is always an end. So why work so hard for material things? But I myself have fear of death in the sense of accident. That I might also die in an accident, plane crash, car accident, whatever it is. Normal death is fine. I know I have to die one day. But I fear that pain, that the executing pain which I have to go in an accident, and I might die in an accident. I have that fear. So just looking for your comments.
So chant Hare Krishna प्रभु. विपदे संपदे ताहा ठाकुर का सम भावे, दिने 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 वृद्धि होकर नामेरा प्रभावे. नाम के प्रभाव से धीरे धीरे सब चीजों के ऊपर उठ जाएगा. चिंता मत करो. एक्सीडेंट आएगा तो पता भी नहीं चलेगा, पहले बता के नहीं आएगा आपको. जब आएगा तो लेके चला जाएगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. चिंता मत करो. भक्त लोग तो आपके लिए आपको प्रेम करते हैं. ये डर लगना चाहिए. क्या डर लगना चाहिए हमको? डू वी हैव अ प्लेस इन द हार्ट ऑफ वैष्णवस? विल दे प्रे फॉर अस, विल दे अच्छा हुआ चला गया है ना. मतलब ऐसा तो कोई नहीं बोलेगा वैष्णव. लेकिन फिर भी will they heartily feel concern for us? Heartily, how many devotees will feel that separation? That much we have made a place in the heart of Vaishnavas. How many devotees will be remembering us with very fond memories? How much we have actually developed Nam Ruchi? Have I done any Vaishnava Aparadh? These fears are important. उसका यमदूत के पेन से भी ज्यादा पेन है ना. यमदूत भी जितना पेन नहीं दे सकते. So these things are aparadh, the things that take me away from Krishna, that we should fear. बाकी yes, एक्सीडेंट में कितना पेन होगा अभी कौन जानता है. मोमेंटरी पेन होगा. Like दिव्यदेव प्रभु, very wonderful Vaishnava. So he went in a bus from here to, he was धारवाड़ बेलगाम कहीं जा रहे थे, कोई तो एक बस में जा रहे थे, तो टॉपल हो गई बस, तो बॉडी भी कटी हुई मिली हमको, यू नो, वो बस टॉपल ओवर हिम एक्चुअली। तो एक ही मोमेंट में हो गया होगा ना डेथ, तो अभी उसके अंदर क्या बॉडी कट गया तो क्या होगा, तो एक ही मोमेंट में डेथ हो गया होगा। तो एक्सक्रूशिएटिंग पेन भी होगा तो शायद एक ही मोमेंट में ही खत्म हो जाएगा। अभी उस ये तो बेटर है प्रभु, अगर एक ही मोमेंट का एक्सक्रूशिएटिंग पेन हो, इट इज बेटर देन 20 साल लटके हुए हैं ऑक्सीजन का ट्यूब के साथ, और और लोग हमारे ऊपर माता मना रहे हैं, इसका कोमा में चला गया है, अभी क्या करने का है, इसका स्टूल कौन साफ करेगा। आई फियर दैट, लेट वैष्णव नॉट सर्व मी, लेट मी डाई, यू नो, may Vaishnavas not spend a single farthing on me, let me die instantly, you know. I don't want to go to hospital, I don't want to get any service from Vaishnavas, let the Vaishnavas serve Vaishnavas, but I may die. But death तो आना ही है, नो। तो मेरे को मुकुंद लीला प्रभु बोल रहे थे, प्रभु मेरे को नहीं चाहिए सर्विस वैष्णवास से। मैंने बोला देखो प्रभु, अभी थोड़ा बॉडी को संभाल के चलाओ जिससे वैष्णव आपकी सर्विस ना करे। बोले नहीं नहीं प्रभु जी, मैं क्या करूंगा ना, आई विल डाई इमीडिएटली। मैंने बोला वो आपकी कंट्रोल में नहीं है ना प्रभु जी। तो अभी ऐसा बुरी तरह से तुम अपना बॉडी हैंडल कर रहे हो, रात दिन जागरण करते हो, फिर क्या होगा, तुम्हारा बॉडी ऐसा पड़ा हुआ होगा इस बिस्तर पे, और 4 लोग लगेंगे तुम्हारी सेवा, मुझे नहीं चाहिए वैष्णव। मैंने बोला, नहीं लगेंगे तुम्हारे को ये रिएक्शन आएगा नो। तो तुम्हारे को अगर चाहिए कि वैष्णव सेवा ना करें तुम्हारी, तो थोड़ा ध्यान से चलाओ, वरना एक दो पर्सनल असिस्टेंट तुम्हारे को जरूर लगेंगे, बिकॉज ही हेट्स टू टेक सर्विस फ्रॉम वैष्णवस, बट वी हैव टू हैव आवर बॉडी intact to have that. And if Krishna designs, you don't have any control over leaving the body. You can have some control over trying to preserve the body, but you can't control when the body will get finished. So someone may die instantly, someone may die spending 20 years on bed, So, Prajani Prabhu, my fear is to spend 20 years on bed, So it is like very boring life, and all with frustration, no service, die, मर भी नहीं रहा यार, मुझे यूथेनेशिया डाल के मार डालो मेरे को नहीं चाहिए ये जीवन। Anyway, let's go ahead, otherwise we'll not fear, मतलब we will not be able to complete this. Time will kill the. Okay, Kardama Muni's plane. So here he's saying as big as the house. So Kardama Muni had made a plane also, which was having like big gardens and everything. So material scientists don't know all these kind of planes. They are nowhere in technology. Kardama Muni's plane was not on some mechanical fuels of the modern world also. Okay. Tada Dundubhayo Nedur Midanga Panavadaya Gandharva Mukhya Prajagu Petu Kusuma Vistaya.
At that time, drums and kettle drums resounded from the sky. The chief Gandharvas began to sing, and other demigods showered flowers like torrents of rain upon Dhruv Maharaj.
Rivu Jai. Sacha Swarlokamarokshyan Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmarad Agam Hitva Dinam Yasya Trivistapam.
Dhruva was seated in the transcendental airplane, which was just about to start, when he remembered his poor mother Suniti. He thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? Dhruva had a feeling of obligation to his mother, Suniti. It was Suniti who had given him the clue which had now enabled him to be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Vishnu. He now remembered her and wanted to take her with him. Actually, Dhruv Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was his Pata Pradakshak Guru. Pata Pradakshak Guru means the Guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Shiksha Guru. Although Narad Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master, Suniti, his mother, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the duty of the Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. According to Shastric injunctions, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, and generally the Shiksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Suniti, however, being a woman, and specifically his mother, could not become Dhruva Maharaj Diksha Guru. Still, he was not less obliged to Suniti. There was no question of carrying Narad Muni to Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha Lokat, but Dhruva Maharaj thought of his mother.
There is more. So
What?
one point which comes here is, it is the duty of the Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. So one should not think कि हमने गुरु बना लिया अभी हम हो जाएंगे पार. Guru may be bona fide, but bona fide Guru, bona fide disciple. Sat Shishya is also one word used in the Shastra. Sat Shishya. So you should search Sat Shishya and find out what are the qualities of Sat Shishya. Not that like someone is more desperate to get a Sat Guru. Actually, Sat Guru we have got already. But now we have to think of whether I become a Sat Shishya, bona fide disciple. Because like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj said, na, I have many initiates, but very few disciples. You know? So we have to become a disciple, bona fide disciple. So like imagine Suniti had told, Beta, Bhagwan ka aradhana karo. Mummy man nahi kar raha hai, thoda khel ke aata hu, no? So then what? Nothing would have happened. No, it would not have come in Bhagavatam also. No? Because he took it seriously. He went to Druma, he went to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni also gave him, Beta khelne ke dene, jao tum wapis. Nahi, I want to find God. Because he was very serious to follow the program. Yeah, that is why he is in the pages of Bhagavatam. So the disciples executing the process is also as important as the Guru instructing giving the instructions. And yeah, one can go back to Godhead. So next one. Whatever plan the Supreme Personality of God contemplates immediately fructifies. Similarly, a devotee who is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord can also fulfill his wishes by the grace of the Lord. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, as soon as Dhruva thought of his poor mother, he was assured by the associates of Vishnu that Suniti was also going to Vaikuntha Lok in another plane. So on this topic, Srila Radhanath Maharaj speaks like anything, you know. He says, Mother Suniti had spoken only a few sentences 36,000 years before. 5 years minus. He was just 5 years, no? And after that, he has ruled for, after 6 months and some more years of being, like he became a grown-up boy. He had not got married. Uttanpad went for forest. And then he's ruling the kingdom for 36,000 years. And he's still remembering that Suniti Maiya ne mere ko wo jo shabd bole the na, uski wajah se I am here today. What is happening to me today is because of Suniti Maiya. And it was just, Maharaj was saying, it would have got over in 2 minutes. What she would have told him is only 2 minutes. But for that 2 minutes has made his life get Lord Vishnu. He is eternally grateful to her mother. So he said, if any devotee has helped us in any way in our journey towards Godhead, we should be eternally grateful. That is a Vaishnava. Even 36,000 years before, if someone has done something for us, we should be grateful. Then he went on to say something more. He said, even if that devotee is going through troubles in his life, even if that devotee has created troubles for our life, still we should be grateful because he gave us Krishna. You know? And he said that he may be now not in bhakti also. Still we should be praying for him. And he said that if that devotee is now in troublesome thing also, by our prayers he will be helped. So actually a devotee heart is full of gratitude. To get a connection with Krishna is not an ordinary thing at all. To get this bhakti program, do you think it's ordinary? It's never ordinary. It is like when I went to home after DY sessions वगैरह ना, थोड़ा घर गया था तो मुझे लगा कि DY से भक्त बनते हैं. तो मैंने क्या किया, मम्मी came to receive me. मतलब when I reached home, she woke up. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. She woke up, beta, very nice, you came. And 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, I gave summary study of all the DY sessions. And she was like already half asleep only. And she was thinking, क्या बोल रहा है? पता नहीं कौन सी भाषा बोल रहा है ना? And I was thinking she will get excited about life. No, but I was very disappointed. She was very, she was feeling bewildered about my statement. And over the 2 months of my summer vacation, I bewildered her more and more. I understood that she does not catch the point. डिवाइस सुना रहा हूँ, समझ नहीं आता है. फिर मुझे बाद में समझ आया कि भक्ति ये डिवाइस से नहीं आती है. डिवाइस वो साधु संगा, लेकिन साधु की कृपा से मिलता है भक्ति. ऐसा मेरा साधु बना नहीं है तो आप क्या कृपा तो दे नहीं सकता. तो, तो साधु कृपा चाहिए. कृपा के बिना, भक्त की कृपा के बिना भक्ति नहीं आने वाला. तो किसी भक्त ने हम पे कृपा कर दी कि हमारे को इस पैराडाइम समझ आने लग गया. वी आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस डिवाइन realm ऑफ भक्ति. अदरवाइज लोग बोलते हाउ आर यू सो एबनॉर्मल, व्हाट हैज मेड यू एबनॉर्मल, एंड वी थिंक व्हाई दीस पीपल आर फीलिंग एबनॉर्मल, लाइफ इज सो टेम्पररी. Before we were busy doing such useless things. We had phone talks, we would talk about such useless things. Now after coming to bhakti, mother is calling, beta, what is going on? I can't tell what is going on in voice because she will not feel excited about it, and I don't want to tell what she feels excited about. So there is nothing in common to talk about only. So it's an amazing thing how we have changed our life completely. How it happened, not by any logic, it's kripa. So gratitude is very important. And when we are leaving the planet, we should always be feeling grateful for all the Vaishnavas who have been guiding us, who have been helping us. Maharaj told one more point. He said, even if someone is creating trouble in your life, it is indirectly he is helping you to become detached in this from this matter world. You should feel grateful to him also. Okay, Maharaj. महाराज का लेक्चर बस महाराज, थैंक यू महाराज. ग्रेटिट्यूड को महाराज को डोज देना हो ना, तो महाराज सब चीजों के लिए ग्रेटिट्यूड है. हम तो भैया खच्चर की चाल चल रहे हैं. महाराज ग्रेटिट्यूड में ही इज ट्रबलिंग यू ऑल्सो, यू शुड फील ग्रेटफुल. ठीक है महाराज. मतलब आई अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई इज सेइंग इट, बट ही इज स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम रियलाइज्ड एंड प्रैक्टिस प्रोग्राम, एंड आई एम लाइक चल रहा है भैया, ट्राई करेंगे महाराज, आपका आदेश सराखों पे. Okay.
Guruji, here
One feature here is that see, Dhruv Maharaj desired and Lord fulfilled. So Dhruv Maharaj is desiring, but he knows the Vaishnava is very humble. He knows I am always dependent on the Lord. So he is not saying, I will take her. I will take her. Nahi. He's praying that can she be taken? Or can I go back to Godhead? Actually, Maharaj puts it in another way. How shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha land and leave behind my... He was saying, Maharaj was saying, that I will not go back to Godhead without her, I will not be going back, without her I cannot go. So that type of gratitude he carried for his mother, So, yes, Prabhu.
So there it is mentioned, Suniti being woman and mother cannot become Diksha Guru. So,
कहाँ लिखा था?
second last line. Suniti, however, being woman and specifically his mother, could not
तो
become Guru.
FDG में ये कोट भी किया ही होगा ना किसी ने. आप FDG की बात कर रहे हो ना, फीमेल दीक्षा.
Clear है.
थैंक यू वेरी मच. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. अरे क्या क्लियर है प्रभु. 25,000 पेजेस का डॉक्यूमेंट बना हुआ है. आपका एक स्टेटमेंट, आप बहुत स्मार्ट निकले. आज आपने डिटेक्ट किया. नहीं नहीं, वो आप बोलिए, उनको जाके बोलिए, फिर आएगा आपको कमेंट.
इसलिए आपको बोल रहा हूँ.
मेरे को बोल के आप खुश फहमी में रह सकते. नरहरि ठाकुर प्रभु.
So I have a question that means when the brother means when son is a devotee and mother is not a devotee but kind of just a favorable. So if son become so qualified
वो
in
आ रहा
devotional
है
service.
अभी परपट आ रहा है. वो नेक्स्ट परपट है. आपका जवाब नेक्स्ट परपट में लेते हैं. पढ़ो पढ़ो, कोई और पढ़ेगा प्रभु. नेक्स्ट क्विकली विल रीड नाउ.
The Great Association of Vaikuntha.
3 ही परपट में. क्या स्लो स्पीड हो गया. हम तो मस्ती में चले गए थोड़ा. चलो.
The great associates of Vaikuntha Loka, Nanda and Sunanda, could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaj, and thus they showed him that his mother Suniti was going forward in another plane.
So they read his mind. So we should know that we are dealing with such fine personalities. The Vishnu Dutas can read our mind. We should never deal with our great masters without any. We should know that our motives are actually observable. Everything is observable. We should live very pure life. Pure life, I am not saying that we live a pure devotee life. We should have very sincere motives. We should not have any idea कि इनको छुपाऊंगा कुछ, ऊपर से कुछ बोलूंगा, अंदर से कुछ चल रहा होगा. No, actually, thorough inside outside they are watching us. We should know Vaishnava cannot be impressed by anything. He can only be pleased. Okay, this incident proves
that Shiksha or Diksha Guru, who has a disciple who strongly executes devotional service like Dhruva Maharaj, can be carried by the disciple even though the instructor is not so advanced.
Amazing, na? Yeah. Then Prahlad Maharaj also delivered a theistic father. And then the conclusion is that a disciple, read.
The conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha Loka either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha Guru.
So you become pure devotee of Lord, that will be the best service to your mother, father, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, whatever. Of course, we should not think that we will take them back to Godhead. These Narad Muni and all personalities like. Okay, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta also said.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also used to say, if I could perfectly deliver even one soul back to God, back to home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission propagating Krishna consciousness to be successful. The Krishna conscious movement is spreading now all over the world, and sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me with him
Srila Prabhupada की humility की जय. नरहरि ठाकुर वो एक और श्लोक है, रुको उसी पे है.
While Dhruva Maharaj was passing through space, he gradually saw all the planets of the solar system, and on the path he saw all the demigods in their airplanes showering flowers upon him like rain.
Yeah.
It should be noted also that while Suniti was going to Vaikuntha Loka, she also changed her body into spiritual form. Like Sri Suniti, every mother should train her child to become a devotee like Dhruva Maharaj. Suniti instructed her son even at the age of 5 years to be unattached to worldly affairs and to go to the forest to search out the Supreme Lord. She never desired that her son remain at home comfortably without ever undertaking austerities and penances to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Every mother like Suniti must take care of her son and train him to become a brahmachari from the age of 5 years and to undergo austerities and penances for spiritual realization. The benefit will be that if her son becomes a strong devotee like Dhruva, certainly not only will he be transferred back home, back to Godhead, but she will also be transferred with him to the spiritual world, even though she may be unable to undergo austerities and penances in executing devotional service.
Hari Bol. Amazing, no? So every mother should be sent this purport. खुद से नहीं होता तो दूसरे को तो करने दो. Every brahmachari's parent should be sent this purport. Yes, Narahari Thakur को आपका जवाब मिल गया क्या?
Prabhuji, I wanted to know conceptual understanding that means if mother is not devotee, means means that not that much favorable to devotional service. So if the son becomes means advanced or maybe madhyam adhikari or devotee, so the parents will get chance to execute in next life, or they go back to, if son goes back to Godhead, then father and mother also goes, or they will get chance in next life to execute devotional service. Because to go back to Godhead, there is also understanding that one has to oneself has to execute devotional service that level, then only can go back. That's the point.
Yeah, good question. See, Hiranyakashipu, when he was delivered, when we say liberated, Tri Saptibhi Pita Puta, 21 generations are purified. So it can mean that they are purified from all sinful reaction. They will not go to hell. It can mean that they are getting the chance to practice devotional service. They will get some opportunities. And it can mean that they are going back to Godhead. Which one will happen for whom? Desh Kala Patara applies, cannot be put into a formula. Here, Suniti Maiya has also done some positive, service to try to actually send him towards that path. And Dhruva Maharaj is remembering her. And Prabhupada is writing that even if someone has not done the required austerities and penances, still one can go back to Godhead by the prayers of Dhruva Maharaj. And when he's saying about Prahlad, he delivered Hiranyakashipu, but delivered Hiranyakashipu, he didn't go back to Godhead. Actually, Jai Vijay only in Godhead. So we can't take that example because उनका पहले से ही प्लान था कि 3 जन्म इधर ही बिताएंगे. तो वो तो भगवान के प्लान में अलग सिस्टम. So we can't take their example to say that Prahlad could not deliver him back to Godhead. No, that he was under the Leela Shakti of the Lord going to go further for future things. So different personalities may go through a different situation based on their free will, based on Lord's free will. Here Dhruva is also requesting. He is not demanding it. No one can demand. So devotee always expresses his desire. So you will also like to say to the Lord, oh Lord, if you allow, please send my mother, father also. That's fine. And then whatever Lord does, be grateful. You get it? A devotee is completely dependent in the sweet will of the Lord, and he knows that that is what is the best thing which should happen to them. There is nothing more in the heart of the devotee. Okay. Read.
Dhruva Maharaj then surpassed the 7 planetary systems of the great sages who are known as Saptarishi. Beyond the region, he achieved the transcendental situation of permanent life in the planet where Lord Vishnu lives.
So he went to beyond the 7 planets and arrived in the region of eternal blissful life. Yeah.
Even if one goes to the topmost planet, one cannot achieve eternal life. Only by arriving in Vaikuntha Loka, one can live an eternally blissful life.
So although it is mentioned topmost, but Vishnu Thakur, to clarify the cosmological creation, how it is, he says Dhruva Loka is situated above the sun, but below Maharlok. But it is a Vaikuntha planet. It is not within the like Maharlok, Brahmalok, all that are material planets. But Dhruva Loka is transit. Okay, 36 to 40 glories of Dhruva Loka. This is a very nice sloka. Acha, now it is 12:55. Do you give me some license? Or should we? Huh? Sorry. पता नहीं क्या किया आज मैंने. आज वो डेथ के ऊपर मैं बहुत बोल दिया ना. कम बोलना था. क्या करना है प्रभु? आधा घंटा ले लेता हूँ. जिसको जाने चले जाना. हरि बोल. यद ब्राजमानम स्वरिचैव सर्वतो लोकास्त्रयो हि अनुविभ्रजान्ते ते यन्नाव्रजन् जन्तुषु ये अनुग्रह व्रजन्ति भद्राणि चरन्ति ये निशम्. This is a very beautiful purport. Read this.
The self-effulgent Vaikuntha planets, by whose illumination alone all the illuminating planets within this material world give up reflected light, cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to the others' living entity. Only person who constantly engage in the welfare activity for others' living entity can reach these Vaikuntha planets.
So he's saying, na abrajan jantushu ye ananugraha, not merciful, vrajanti bhadrani charanti ye anisham. They cannot reach there. So now Prabhupada will use this for preaching surely, no? Someone, so Prabhupada writes, read the yellow.
The first is that the Vaikuntha sky, there is no need of sun and moon.
So pehle Prabhupada talks about that. Now the main point of welfare.
From this material world, however, people can be transferred to Vaikuntha Loka if they innocently engage in the welfare activity for all others living entity. Such incessant welfare activity can be really performed only in Krishna consciousness.
So now you may say, okay, incessantly perform welfare activity. तो क्या हमारा ये standard है? Are we having this standard? Prabhupada was doing like this, no? I want to preach, everywhere simultaneously, Prabhupada was always intoxicated on mission. So only such a person can go back to God. So Prabhupada gives one more hope. अभी purport में आगे.
A Krishna conscious being is always engaged in planning how to take all the suffering humanity back home, back to Godhead. Even if one is not successful in reclaiming all the fallen souls back to Godhead, still because he is Krishna conscious, his path to Vaikuntha Loka is open.
So if we could not take others to back to Godhead, We will go back to Godhead by having this attitude to take others to back to Godhead. That means our attempts to preach is very important. And now Prabhupada says one more step from, okay, incessant wala point abhi bhi hua nahi na. So now further.
He personally becomes qualified to enter the Vaikuntha Lokas. And if anyone follows such a devotee, he also enter into Vaikuntha Loka.
हाँ इधर बात बनी अपनी थोड़ी. If anyone follows such a devotee, he also enters into Vaikuntha Loka. So if we become proper Prabhupada Anugas, then we have an entry ticket to Vaikuntha Loka. है ना? तो इधर थोड़ा होप है ना प्रभु? इधर थोड़ा होप है. वो incessant welfare work वो तो पता नहीं कब आएगा, लेकिन कम से कम 24 hour. Yeah, incessant means 24 hour. Yeah. So then he says, yogis, jnanis, karmis, all are matlabi fellows. They are all selfish fellows. They are bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sakala, ashanta. They are all busy in their own reclamation to enjoy or reclaim themselves only. But devotees, Vaishnavas, or servants of the Lord come forward in the actual field of work in Krishna consciousness to reclaim fallen souls. Only Krishna conscious persons are eligible to enter into the spiritual world. See, one important thing about this preaching side is, see, if we are Krishna conscious, then only we can go back to Godhead. So Krishna conscious means to be conscious of Krishna. What does it mean to be Krishna conscious? Conscious of Krishna's desires. What does he want? His pains and pleasures are known to us. So what gives pain to Krishna? Are there any sufferings Krishna has having? He is Satchitananda Vigraha. He has no pain. The souls who have come to this matter world, that is a very big pain. When Haridas Thakur was talking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Chinta na kariha. Oh Lord, don't do any chinta. He was relieving Lord from the chinta by saying that when you chant the holy name, even the trees are delivered with echo. You know that pastime, right? So Prabhupada, right, this is the duty of a devotee, to relieve the anxiety of the Supreme Lord by preaching the message of Supreme Lord. So Lord has only one anxiety. What is that? How to reclaim these conditioned souls who are my lost sons. So that tension is there. So if we are conscious of Krishna, we cannot be free from anxiety for other living entities. That is why there has to be compassion for innocent souls. There has to be. If we have not come to that, we cannot go back to Godhead. Because we have not become conscious of Krishna only. We are remaining. We only want Krishna के बाजू में बैठ के क्या गिल्ली डंडा खेलेंगे क्या? अरे Krishna is in anxiety also about this world. So what did we do for that? You know? Yeah. Like I've seen all the great souls, they never sit back. Yeah, it's not like they have perfected their life or they have made many disciples who sit back. See Srila Gopal Krishna Maharaj, till the last breath, working. Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj, we already discussed. Srila Radhanath Maharaj, he had already got disciples like Radhesham Prabhu, Gaurang Prabhu. He could have told, when he became 60, he started the mission in US. He could have told, अभी आराम करते हैं, तुम सब घूमो, तुम इधर country में जाओ, तुम उधर जाओ, हम आराम करेगा. But what he himself went to preach. He started new mission. So Maharaj said that when I meet Prabhupada, what will Prabhupada say? Prabhupada will say, you are an American. What did he do for America? What will I answer to Prabhupada? I cannot sit back. So when one has played a nice innings, अभी हो गया मेरा, अभी तुम लोग संभालो, ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. Param Puja Indra Maharaj said, I cannot say that I should go back to Godhead because Prabhupada told that I will go to even hell to preach. So I will say only where Prabhupada is, I want to go there to assist him. I am ready to go to hell also for that. Shyam Sundar Prabhu को पूछा हमने, Prabhuji, what do you want to do after, like you leave this? I just want to go where Prabhupada is to assist him in the mission. So these people are intoxicated Prabhupada Anugas, Yeah. Like that we should be also becoming. Shanta Samadrisha Shruddha Sarva Bhutana Ranjana Shanti Anjanas Anjas Achyuta Padam Achyuta Priya Bandhava. Very important verse. Okay.
Person who are peaceful, equipoised, cleaned and purified, and who know the art of pleasing all other living entity, keep friendship only with the devotees of the Lord. They alone can very easily achieve the perfection of going back to Godhead.
There is another amazing purport. See, these qualities are important. Shanta, Samadrisha, Shuddha, and Sarva Bhuta Anuranjana. One should be able to please all the other living entities. But he says that does not mean that he will become friend of all living entities. Keep friendship only with devotees of the Lord. क्या फर्क हुआ? Actually, the friendship is with the devotees, but he will be pleasing to other living entities also. We'll see how Prabhupada puts it. So, devotees qualifications. So, Shanta.
Devotees are peaceful, for they have no demand for their personal sense gratification. They are simply dedicated to the service of Lord.
Yeah, they are fully surrendered to the Supreme Lord, so they are peaceful. Yeah, read.
A devotee is peaceful because he is fully surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thinks of himself as completely helpless, just as a child feels completely peace in depending on the parents. So a devotee is completely peaceful, for he depends on the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So this nirbharta or ananya gatitvam and akinchanatvam, actually these things make the devotee very peaceful and sweetly disposed in a helpless manner. He is not hopeless, but he is helpless. He is like a child before the Samadrisha.
He sees everyone on the same transcendental platform. A devotee knows that although a conditioned soul has a particular type of body, according to his past fruitive activity, factually everyone is a part and parcel of Supreme Lord.
Yeah. And this is important. Read.
Achyuta Priya Bandhava. Such quality develop only in the association of devotees. Without the association of devotee, one cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Factually, whoever lives in the society automatically defends Krishna consciousness. Devotees are dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Supreme Personality of Godhead is only dear to devotees. On this platform, one can make progress in Krishna consciousness.
So Prabhupada is very much emphasizing what? Stay in the ISKCON. Devotee also means ISKCON. Therefore, we have established factually whoever lives in this society automatically develops Krishna consciousness. And then Sarva Bhuta Anuranjana.
Persons in Krishna consciousness or devotee of Lord can please everyone, as is evident in the Krishna consciousness movements. We invite everyone without discrimination. We request everyone to sit down and chant Hare Krishna mantra and take as much as prasad as we can supply. And thus everyone is pleased with us.
So this Prabhupada is telling us, like he's telling it in present tense, but we should do it also. No, our dealings should be such. Our dealings with the living entities, when we meet new people, how are we dealing with them? Are they feeling a touch of Krishna's love? Are they feeling that, like sometimes we want to give a book to a person, but we speak in such a, like we are so forceful that the living entity feels frustrated with the devotee. He says, okay, aap bol, ab le late hai, no? So we should also have a, like here we have put so many bookstalls. Sometimes the person goes out with the idea that, pata nahi, paka diya, dimag kharab kar diya, no? So what experience we are giving to the living entity is also important. Of course, we want to give a book, but we should have dealings which are very, like not, they should not be imposing the living entity. They should be very kind. I like to do book distribution in a free wala, free, like not sponsored copy. Take this book, give donation. I like that very much. That way, what happens? The other living entities, कितने दानी लोग हैं, no, प्रेम करते हैं हमसे बस. Actually, many people develop faith by that. I've seen. I'm never in loss. I always do that. But everyone has his plan. Okay, Shuddha.
As for purification, no one can be more pure than devotees.
Muchi hoye suchi.
Muchi hai suchi.
Yeah.
हये यदि कृष्ण भजे.
हाँ, so भजन करो कृष्णा का तो सबसे ज्यादा शुद्ध हो जाएंगे.
Any person who is purely Krishna conscious and who engage in chanting Hare Krishna mantra is purest in whole universe.
ये हमारे को दूसरे वैष्णव के लिए देखना चाहिए. Conditions apply. Don't see yourself with this idea. Okay. Prabhu, read Jagdish Raman.
This way, the fully Krishna conscious Dhruv Maharaj, the exalted son of Maharaj Utthanapada, attained the summit of the three statuses of planetary systems.
So three stages of planet, lower, upper, and lower, middle, and upper. So he attained the summit, and one word used is Krishna Parayana. So Prabhupada elaborates on Parayana.
Parayana means going forward. Anyone who is going forward to the goal of Krishna is called Krishna Parayana or fully Krishna conscious. A Krishna conscious person can occupy an exalted position beyond the imagination of any ambitious materialist.
Dhruv Maharaj got a place which was no one can imagine, you know. This Trump can only try to dominate over this world, you know. So, yeah. Vaikuntha, Dhruv Loka is Vaikuntha Loka. Krishna Parayana, word used Krishna Parayana, but he has gone to Vishnu Loka, which is the Vaikuntha Loka, which is Dhruva Loka. Okay. Krishna is universally applicable. Okay. Yeah, read.
My dear Vidur, Saint Maitreya continued, my dear Vidur, descendant of Kuru, as a herd of bulls circumambulates a central pole on the right side, all the luminaries within the universal sky unceasingly circumambulate the abode of Dhruv Maharaj with great force and speed. Together, all of them encircle...
All of them means all the planets.
Together, all of them encircle the pole star or Dhruv Loka, where Dhruv Maharaj is situated at the summit of the three worlds. We can only imagine how highly exalted the actual position of a devotee is, and certainly we cannot even conceive how exalted is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So all the planet systems are revolving around Dhruva Loka. So I was thinking कि ध्रुव महाराज की तो परिक्रमा ऐसे ही कर लेते हैं हम. हाँ, गोल घूमते ही रहते हैं ध्रुव महाराज के चारों तरफ. ध्रुव महाराज बैठे हैं ना बीच में ना, ध्रुव लोक में ध्रुव महाराज हैं. जैसे हम तुलसी की परिक्रमा करते हैं प्रदक्षिणा, वैसे ध्रुव महाराज की प्रदक्षिणा कर रहे हैं. सुकृति मिलता है सबको. So she is sitting as the central personality of that planet which is circumambulated by all the living entities of the universe. You know, so how exalted position he has got. And then Prabhupada said, then we can only, it is inconceivable to think how exalted is Supreme Lord. One humble request to all of the Vaishnavas, I always put this point wherever I can. When we go for Tulsi Pradikshina, please try to remember Mother Tulsi instead of trying to talk, you know. So my humble request. Somehow devotees have lot of desires of talking which बहुत समय का रोका हुआ बांध टूट जाता है और बहुत लोग बातें कर रहे होते हैं. Actually we are doing pradakshina. We should try. Sometimes I also get interrupted. Some senior devotee wants to talk. Or like one devotee came. Actually, one boy had fallen down. He had left Krishna consciousness. Not fallen down, but left. तो वो devotee सामने दिख गया, बोला प्रभु जी हरि बोल. What can I say? I had to embrace him. You know, I felt Tulsi Maharani will be happy if I embrace this guy. He said, प्रभु जी मैं वापिस आ गया अभी. Thank you प्रभु जी. मैंने बोला you made my day today. सुबह कोई आ जाए बोले कि मैं वापिस आ गया भक्ति में, तो वो दिन बन गया ना मेरा. Okay.
After observing the glories of Dhruv Maharaj, the great sage Narad, playing his veena, went to the sacrificial arena of the Prachitas and very happily chanted the following 3 verses.
Yeah.
As a father, he is very happy to see the son's advancement in every respect. So the spiritual master is very happy to observe the ascendancy of his disciple.
Srila Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Ishwarpuri, and he said, Kiba mantra dila gosai, kiba tarabal, japite hoile pagal, you know. So there are, then he says, Kirtartha hoile. I have become Kritartha. I have become grateful that you have achieved such a position. Who is feeling grateful? Ishwarpuri. So great souls feel great joy to see their disciples do even more devotional service than themselves. One time I was there in that very sweet, simple meeting in which Radhanath Maharaj was telling, I don't know how empowered this personality Radhesham Prabhu is. How much he's been empowered by Prabhupada to do so much service to him. He was heartily glorified that he is so empowered. He has created more brahmacharis than ever anyone in the history of ISKCON. How empowered. So Maharaj was glorifying him. He was feeling so happy. He was like, मेरा disciple है ना. He was saying how empowered he is by Prabhupada. So this is a family culture. Father feels happy to glory. Okay. Yeah. Read further. Okay. Yeah, you can
The
read.
greats.
आप पढ़े.
The great sage Narada said, simply by the influence of his spiritual advancement and powerful austerity, Dhruv Maharaj, the son of Suniti, who was devoted to her husband, acquired an exalted position not possible to attain even for the so-called Vedantists or strict followers of the Vedic principles, not to speak of ordinary human beings.
Yeah, so one word used is Vedavadino. So Vedavad Rathas also it is said, na? So they cannot go there. What to talk of ordinary people? So Prabhupada writes about Vedavad Rathas there. And then you read the last part, Dhruv Maharaj.
Maharaj was a king, and at the same time he was as learned as the great sage. But without devotional service, neither a great king, a Kshatriya, nor a great Brahmana strictly adhering to the Vedic principles can be elevated to the exalted position attained by Dhruv Maharaj.
Okay. This is a nice shloka. Ya panchavarsho gurudar vaksharai binne nayato hridayena duyata vanam madadesho vanam madadesha karojitam prabhum jikaya tad bhakta gunai parajitam.
The great sage Narada continued, just see how Dhruv Maharaj, aggrieved at the harsh words of his stepmother, went to the forest at the age of only 5 years, and under my direction underwent austerity. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unconquerable, Dhruv Maharaj defeated him with the specific qualifications possessed by the Lord's devotees.
What word is you? Defeated him. Lord is Ajita, but he was defeated. Jigaya. He was defeated by Tad Bhakta Gunai Parajitam. So he defeated and conquered. Parajit means conquered. Jigaya means defeated. That Ajita Lord when he did austerities under my direction. So very important purpose.
The Supreme Godhead is unconquerable. No one can conquer the Lord, but he voluntarily accepts subordination to the devotional qualities of his devotees.
Devotional qualities of his devotees. So the Lord is purchased. If you have not heard this Sadhu Hidaya Mayam, I think I told you already, na? Please read it. You will fall in love with how Krishna is Aham Bhakta Paradino, how much he is feeling. Look at this Ambrish, what he has done. And what are you doing, Dharma? He is a king, but he was not any fearful of his death. But you are fearful of death, you are running after behind the chakra is going behind you. When you shot a demon, he never ran away. He is fearless about death. And actually, the way he intoxicatedly preaches about the glories of Amrish Maharaj, you will understand how much Lord loves devotees with devotional qualities. When Prithu Maharaj gave up the 100th yajna, then the Lord was not able to leave him. He was feeling so attracted to the devotional quality of Amrish Maharaj. This is the goal of our life, to develop devotional qualities which will attract the Lord. Lord is not attracted by any external achievements actually. It is about the devotion of the heart. It is about the qualities of Vaishnavas that can attract. One time I asked Srila Gopalakrishna Maharaj, if two devotees are fighting, they are in the same project, so should we send them to two different projects, then they can do more preaching? Or should we tell them that we practice Trinadapi by staying together in one project? Maharaj, they should stay in the same project and practice Trinadapi. No? Trinadapi Sunichena is the qualification to please the Lord. So we should very much work hard to see devotional qualities manifest. Unable to develop means करो, मेहनत करना पड़ेगा प्रभु, ऐसे थोड़ी. It's not easy, but that's the job. Your spiritual master told me. See, Maharaj is a very, very fine personality. He's such a missionary man, but full of qualities. So that we should revere also. Devotional qualities. Radheshampu is offering also this time. He said, no, Maharaj is very much a man of the mission, but he was very internally strong person. You heard, na? Radheshampu was telling. So we should take the full package of Maharaj, What do you say? है ना? That's the idea. एटलीस्ट एंडेवर प्रभु, हम तो छोटे बच्चे ही हैं, स्पैरो की तरह वी आर ट्राइंग टू ड्राई अप द ओशन. बट इफ महाराज सीज, इफ प्रभुपाद सीज दैट वी आर एंडेवरिंग, देन दे विल हेल्प अस आउट. एटलीस्ट वी शुड डू आवर एंडेवर. ना वी से इम्पॉसिबल है महाराज, आप ही संभालो ये, तो हमसे तो नहीं होता है. वी हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल टू take the right attitude of efforts at least. So Prabhupada says Mother Yashoda could melt the heart of Krishna and conquer, control. Lord become controlled by the love of his devotees. Okay, Lord forgets.
Lord forgets his exalted position and willingly submits to his pure devotee. Dhruv Maharaj conquered the Supreme Lord because at a very tender age, only 5 years old, he underwent all the austerities of devotional service. This devotional service was, of course, executed under the direction of a great sage Narad. This is the first principle of devotional service. Adau Guravo Ashrayam. In the beginning, one must accept a bona fide spiritual master, and if a devotee follows strictly the direction of the spiritual master, as Dhruva Maharaj followed the instruction of Narad Muni, then it is not difficult for him to achieve the favor of the Lord.
बस एक गार्ड बांध के रख लो कहीं पे, गुरु के आदेश के अनुसार चलने का. अभी वो देखो पटना ब्रह्मचारी, वो प्रूव कर रहे हैं कि हम कैसे परम पूज्य गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज के विल को भी फॉलो कर रहे हैं. आई डोंट नो, दिमाग पूरा फिर जाता है तो क्या होता है, कैसी क्या कुछ भी प्रूव कर सकता है. हियर दे आर आउटसाइड इस्कॉन and he took sannyas from outside ISKCON, and they are blaspheming ISKCON GBC and everything, and they are saying that we are following will of Maharaj. पता नहीं क्या दिमाग में. नहीं, they are using and telling about. So what I'm saying is that strictly follow the instruction of the spiritual master. That is one of the basic prerequisites to move further in the journey of, that Hati Mata Aparadh, how does Prabhupada explain in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Usually we talk about Vaishnava offense, na, Hati Mata. What does Prabhupada say there? He says about disobedience to Guru. He says then the Bhakti Lata Gripper is plucked out. So we should be very careful to not do that. And if we are following nicely, don't worry too much कि किधर पहुंचा. अभी वो कल लेक्चर सुना आपने, कोमल श्रद्धा, दृढ़ श्रद्धा और सब एनालिसिस तो बहुत अच्छी है, बट अभी करना क्या है? हाँ, भक्ति करना है, अच्छे से रीडिंग हियरिंग चैंटिंग करो, सेवा करो, करना वही है. लेकिन उसमें वो क्वालिफाई करता है व्यक्ति जब अपने when he fine tunes his motives, when he fine tunes his shraddha, that I am happy to serve according to Guru's desire. So Lord was pleased when at a 5-year-old child has done such austerities actually. But he got darshan immediately. Okay, I'll first finish. You remind me, I will tell in the end. The sum total of devotional, अभी मैं complete करता हूँ, प्रभु. Sum total of devotional qualities is development of unalloyed love. This unalloyed love can be achieved simply by hearing about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya accepted this principle. If in any position submissively one hears the transient message spoken by Krishna or about Krishna, then gradually develops the quality of unalloyed love. And by that love only he can conquer the unconquerable. Sthane sita shrutikathan tanovan manobhai. Not only does a devotee become one in quality with the Supreme Lord, but he sometimes becomes father, mother, master of the Lord. Arjun became the master in terms of Lord became chariot driver. So I'll tell something about this, the tapasya in the end. But let's see if time permits. Okay. Dhruv Maharaj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 after undergoing austerities for 6 months. Alas, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after undergoing austerities for many, many years. So the word used for Dhruv Maharaj is Shatra Bandhu, because he was not even trained as a Kshatriya. He was just 5 years old. He had not gone to Gurukul also till now. But he could get that. That means the training process is supposed to be given. The Shatra Bandhu becomes a Kshatriya only after the training. Brahmana becomes a Brahmana after, otherwise Brahma Bandhu. The great sage Narad Muni was very proud of his having a devotee disciple like Dhruv Maharaj. He had many other disciples, but he was very pleased that Dhruv Maharaj, because in one lifetime, by dint of his severe penance and austerity, he had achieved Vaikuntha Lok, which was never achieved by any other king's son or Rajshri throughout the whole universe. Prabhupada gives the example of King Bharat took 3 lives. The lesson, this is so important. The lesson from the life of Dhruv Maharaj is that if one likes, one can attain Vaikuntha Lok in one life without waiting for many other lives. My Guru Maharaj Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada used to say that every one of his disciples could attain Vaikuntha Lok in this life without waiting for another life to execute devotion service. One simply has to become as serious and sincere as Dhruv Maharaj. Then it is quite possible to attain Vaikuntha Lok and go back home, back to Godhead in one life. Okay? If people quote to you, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said it takes 3 lifetimes. Please keep this purport with you and say, Prabhu, I am servant of Srila Prabhupada. He has told this purport. I have take shelter of this purport and beg forgiveness from you for whatever you have to say. I just want to follow Prabhupada's plan. Hare Krishna. No? Huh? Who? Prahlad Maharaj went in one life. He's a very exalted personality. He's a Mahajan. We are talking about sadhakas also. Sadhakas can go in one life. प्रहलाद इज बचपन से ही वो जब वूम में थे तभी बोल रहे थे तो महाभागवत है अंदर वूम में नो या एक्चुअली आई हैव अ फुल सेमिनार ऑन गोइंग बैक टू गॉड इन वन लाइफ लेकिन अभी टाइम नहीं है तो एटलीस्ट आई टू फिनिश इट इन नेक्स्ट 5 minutes. Okay, now it is Falashruti from 44 to 52. All is Falashruti. So the great Maitreya said, my dear Dhruva, whatever you have asked from me about the great reputation and character of Dhruv Maharaj, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruv Maharaj. So then Prabhupada writes that whether about the Lord or the devotee, you hear the glories, it is same. Neophyte devotees simply try to take pastimes of the Lord and not very interested in activities of devotees. But such discrimination is not indulged by real devotee. Less intelligent men hear about rasa dance of Krishna. A sincere devotee should read, very nice sentence, a sincere devotee should read every chapter and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam. For the beginning verses describe it is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. And again Prabhupada says, devotees should not try to avoid even a word of Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai. Then this is so many wonderful. Dhanyam yashasyam ayushyam punyam swasti ayanam mahat swargam drovyam saumannasyam prashasyam agamaršanam. तो धन मिल सकता है, यश मिल सकता है, आयु लंबी हो सकती है, पुण्य मिलेगा और स्वस्ति आयनम महत सब ऑस्पिशियस हो जाएगा, स्वर्गम मिलेगा, स्वर्ग मिल सकता है, द्रव्यम ध्रुवलोक मिल सकता है, सौमनस्यम आपका मन सुंदर हो जाएगा, अगमर्षणम सारा पाप चला जाएगा. बहुत सारे आशीर्वाद दिए. कब? अगर हम ध्रुव कथा सुनेंगे. ध्रुव महाराज की जय. तो बोला है मोक्ष कामा अकामा सर्व कामो व मोक्ष कामो उदारी. सबको सुनना चाहिए भगवान की लीला कथा और भक्तों की लीला कथा. अभी आप बोलोगे ये सब मिलेगा, इससे क्या फायदा, मुझे तो भगवान की भक्ति चाहिए थी. ठीक है, वो भी दिया है. श्रुत वै तच्चत् श्रद्धया भिक्षम अच्युत प्रिय चेष्टितम भवेत भक्तिर भगवती यया स्यात् क्लेश संशय. Anyone who hears narration of Dhruv Maharaj, who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character. See, what we have to do? Understand his pure character. Attains the pure devotional platform, Hari Bol, and executes pure devotional service, Hari Bol. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of mortal life. Achyuta Priya. So Dhruv Maharaj, by his character and reputation, became very dear to Achyuta. So we want to become Priya to Achyuta, then we should have develop pure character like Dhruv Maharaj. If one simply reads over and over again about Dhruv Maharaj, by hearing and reading this chapter, one can attain the highest perfection of life in any way he desires. Most importantly, he gets chance to become a great devotee. Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruv Maharaj acquires exalted qualities like him. For anyone who desires greatness, prowess, and influence, here is the process by which to acquire them. And for thoughtful men who want adoration, here is the proper means. So, all ambitions which are desirable by great people can be fulfilled simply by reading and understanding the narrations of Dhruv Maharaj's activities. So, someone who is very ambitious, na Prabhu, give him this Bhagavatam section. Tell him that you will hear about the most ambitious fellow, in this Bhagavatam section. So you are very ambitious. Now read this. So by the end he will become purified also, and he will also understand, अरे इससे तो मेरा ambition पूरा हो जाएगा, हो भी जाएगा. Okay. The great sage Maitra recommended one should chant the character and activities of Dhruv Maharaj both in the morning and evening with great attention and care in the society of Brahmanas or other twice born persons. So Dvija Janmanam means Brahmanas. So Prabhupada writes, only in the devotees can the character and pastimes of the Supreme Lord and devotees become relishable. So one should especially seek the society of Brahmanas who are elevated to the position of Vaishnavas. International society is for this purpose. And जहाँ पे morning, evening और noon भी लिखा है प्रभुपाद ने. Practically 24 hours we do continuous devotion service. Anyone can join International Society for Krishna Consciousness and become initiated as twice born. So first birth is by parents, second birth is by Guru and Shastras. And we cannot understand Lord by academic qualification. Kalau Shudra Sambhava, सब शूद्र हैं, ब्राह्मण कोई भी नहीं है. But bhakti करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा. Because the whole population of world is consisting of Shudras, there is decline of spiritual knowledge and people are unhappy. The Krishna Consciousness movement has been started especially to create qualified Brahmanas to broadcast spiritual knowledge all over the world, for thus people may become very happy. Jao, Kripa Sindhu Prabhu, go to Australia. Jagdish Raman Prabhu, go to Africa. सब चले जाओ यहाँ से, प्रचार करो. No? Persons who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord should recite this narration through Maharaj without taking remunerations. Without taking remunerations. ये इसमें है, purport में है. वो translation उसमें word में है. न इच्छम्स. न इच्छम्स means without desiring remuneration. No? And then there is one more qualification. Specifically, recitation is recommended on the full moon or dark moon day, on the day after Ekadashi. आज क्या है? कुछ है क्या ऐसा? On the appearance of Shravan star. Of course, we did it for many days. At the end of particular tithi, on the occasion of Vyatipat, at the end of the month, or on Sunday. Such recitation should, of course, be performed before a favorable audience. So what verse is used? Shraddha Dhahanam, to a receptive audience. When recitation is performed in this way, without professional motive, the reciter and audience becomes perfect. So the recitation should be done by a devotee without any desire for remuneration. And the hearer should be Shraddha Wala. So professional reciters may ask money to extinguish the blazing fire within their bellies. Prabhupada ऐसा पंच मारते ना, they may extinguish the blazing fire within the belly, but they cannot make any spiritual improvement or become perfect. It is therefore, I was thinking Prabhupada, but they cannot extinguish the fire of material existence. Yeah. It is therefore strictly forbidden to recite Srimad Bhagavatam as a profession or to earn livelihood. Even these Kirtaniyas, we should only call Kirtaniyas who don't take money. Actually, taking money and doing Kirtan is not at all. Prabhupada wants Prem Sankirtan. Prabhupada said, we want only pure devotees to do Kirtan. So devotees became very depressed. We are not pure devotees. Prabhupada, you will only be able to do Kirtan. He said, pure devotees means who will chant only to glorify the Lord. Not for fame, not for remuneration and all this. Just want to... Actually, it is an expression of separation from the Lord. We are doing Kirtas. Okay. Only one who is completely surrendered to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, depending fully on Him for personal maintenance and even for maintenance of his family, can attain perfection by recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of narrations of the pastimes of the Lord and His devotees. The process can be summarized as follows. The audience must be faithfully receptive to the Bhagavad message. The reciter should be completely dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad recitation must not be a business. If done in the right way, not only does the reciter achieve perfect satisfaction, but the Lord is also very satisfied with the reciter and the audience, and thus both are liberated from the material bondage simply by process of hearing. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Shraddhadananam has an accusative meaning, object of the verb. One should not accept payment or other articles because one this is very beautiful, because one satisfies the self by the self. The devotee in making others hear thinks, what should the devotee think when he is speaking Bhagavatam? This devotee is hearing with faith the topics of Krishna that I am reciting. That is my payment. Huh? This devotee is hearing with faith the topics of Krishna that I am reciting. That is my payment. So that is the payment you have given me. Hari Bol. In this way, he attains perfection. And then Nareshwar Dhruv Maharaj is sublime knowledge for the attainment of immortality. So persons unaware of the absolute truth can be led to the path of truth. Those who out of transcendent kindness take on the responsibility of becoming masters, protectors of the poor living entities, automatically gain the interest and blessings of the demigods. So there's one word in the shloka, Jnana Agyata, means knowledge which is unknown almost throughout the universe, entire world. So one attains that. You know? So what is that? The knowledge of the immortality. The recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam is specifically meant to enlighten people about the absolute truth. Although there is no fundamental difference between impersonal Brahman and all, but factual immortality cannot be attained unless and until one attains the stage of Supreme Person's association. Devotional service which leads to association with Supreme Lord is actual immortality. Real mukti is to associate with the Supreme Lord. Mukti Swarupena Vyavasthitina. So pure devotees out of compassion for fallen souls are Kripalu, very kind. They distribute Bhagavat knowledge all over the world. A kind-hearted devotee is Dinanath, protector of poor and ignorant masses. The Dinanaths or the devotees of the Lord who preach the path of devotional service become favorites of the demigods. Generally, people are interested in worshipping demigods, especially Lord Shiva, in order to obtain material benefits. But a pure devotee who engages in preaching the principles of devotional service as prescribed in Srimad Bhagavatam does not need to separately worship the demigods. The demigods are automatically pleased with him and offer all blessings within their capacity. This is the last sloka. Idam mayate bhitam kurudva dhruvasya vikhyata vishuddha karmana hitvarvaka kridanakani matur griham cha vishnum sharanam jo jagama. The transcendental activities of Dhruv Maharaj are well known all over the world and they are very pure. In childhood, Dhruv Maharaj rejected all kinds of toys and playthings, left the protection of his mother and seriously took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. My dear Dhruva, I therefore conclude the narration I have described to you all its details. As the Supreme Personality of Krishna is everlasting famous, so the reputation of Lord Krishna's devotee is also everlasting. Therefore, in describing Dhruv Maharaj's activities, two specific words have been used, Vikhyata and Vishuddha, transcendental. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta, the purpose of the 4th canto, 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Dhruv Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. And thus ends the Dhruva section of Srimad Bhagavatam. And very kind-hearted Vaishnavas have allowed me to speak this section till the end, extending for 7.5 hours extra. Thank you very much for your kindness upon this fallen soul. Hare Krishna. Nare Thakur, you have something to say?
Just one clarification that am I audible? Audible? So just want to understand that when someone does ko Bhagavad Katha, so I heard that if we don't demand, but if they give some money or some, so grastas they can take, or articles. It is clearly said one should not take it. It says there.
Yeah.
So what is the standard? That's what I want to understand.
Whatever they give it for Krishna. Give it for service to Krishna. Give it to...
Yes,
you are a brahmachari. As a brahmachari, give it to the temple president, Gaur Premanande. Put it in the Dan Hundi.
Some grastas do in ISKCON Bhagavad Kathas. So they take, but they don't demand.
It is not good. Actually, Dan, that is okay. Dan, someone is giving Dan, that's a different thing. But what are we, like, when a Brahmana, actually Brahmana is just Patan Yajan Dan Parigra. So when he's doing seva, He is simply wanting to glorify the Lord. And the dan can be given to such a Brahmana. That is perfect. That is not a problem. But one should not be expecting कि इतना किया तो कम से कम इतना तो आएगा कुछ. You know.
Because there it is said that we should not take like that is mentioned, so that's why I'm a
No,
little
we should
confused.
not take remuneration. Matlab, remuneration is a different thing. Remuneration means paid kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Achha, I will just share with you two things. This about that question which was asked about why did Dhruv Maharaj say that demigods bewildered my intelligence.
Upon them,
So I'm
they'll pass through that situation and make great advance level. Krishna may want to teach the world a lesson.
Will have to come down. I gifted him with kingship. He says that since all the demigods who are situated in the higher planetary system will have to come down again, they are all envious of my being elevated to Vaikuntha Loka by my devotional service. These intolerant demigods have dissipated my intelligence, and only for this reason could I not accept the genuine benediction of the instruction of sage Narada.
Which text is this?
Text number 32. And he is very assertively saying that it's only there the cause. So how is that he is blaming someone else other than himself?
In this instance, Narada Muni told Dhruva to go home and be transcendental to his mother's harsh words. But Dhruva Maharaj could not accept. He said, I'm a Kshatriya. These words of forgiveness and being beyond the dualities do not sit in my heart. I must get revenge. So Narada Muni actually gave him transcendental knowledge by which he would have been liberated if he followed. But because he wasn't in a state to follow those, he gave him another instruction by which he would be liberated and attain the ultimate perfection of life. So Dhruva Maharaj is ashamed. He's ashamed. It explains in previous verses and or other verses of this chapter how Dhruva Maharaj was personally very, very ashamed. He wasn't blaming others. He was really personally ashamed that he approached God for material benedictions. But here really what he's doing is he's preaching. Dhruva Maharaj is just explaining the facts. He's not blaming others for his own weakness. He's just explaining the facts, the realities. That's what Prabhupada brings out in the purport. He doesn't say that Dhruva Maharaj is blaming the demigods. He's just stating that this is a fact. The demigods do this. Huh? So we should see it that way. He's saying, since all the demigods are situated in the higher planet systems, will have to come down again. They are envious of my being elevated to Vaikuntha Loka. These intolerant demigods have dissipated my intelligence, and only for this reason could I not accept the genuine benediction of the instructions of the sage Narada. Because if he would have surrendered to Narada, he would have attained Vaikuntha then. Huh? He would have attained a higher planet than the demigods in that sense. So we see Vishwamitra Muni, we see Narayan Rishi. Narayan Rishi, they were performing tapasya, and the demigods, headed by Indra, tried everything they could to make him fall down because they were envious of him. They were fearful that he would attain power by which he could conquer them. So Dhruva Maharaj, rather than see that he's blaming the demigods here, because he's obviously taking responsibility himself in other verses, showing shame, what he's actually doing is he's just stating the facts, that these are the way the demigods are, and this is what they did to me. It's like if Narayan Rishi was asked, did Indra send Cupid to make you fall down? He would say, yes, he did. This is what he did, because he's envious. He wouldn't say, no, it's all my fault. He may say that. Dhruva's also saying that, but he's also stating the facts. Huh? He's differentiating a pure devotee from a mixed devotee. Not necessarily all the demigods are pure devotees. Some of them are fearful and envious of their material prosperity. And they do pollute the intelligence of others so that they can't actually attain higher perfections. Kamadev, isn't Kamadev a sort of a demigod? Yes? Isn't he trying to interfere with your spiritual life sometimes? So what are we? Maybe our fault, but still, Kamadev's doing something up there. He's doing every king he can to pollute my intelligence and keep me from going back to Vaikuntha. Yes, so it's a fact. So we say it. We all say it. Yes, Kamadev is doing. Indra sends Kamadev, so we understand. Indra's fearful. He's insecure of his situation. We shouldn't think in this verse that Dhruva is blaming others, because he's already admitted the blame in other verses. What he's doing here is he's differentiating between the pure devotees and the mixed devotees. Even great personalities, they're trying to make great souls fall down. That's their nature. That's their psychological nature. To fear of people becoming greater than them, they try to make people fall down. That's just reality. And it's a reality we all have to face in trying to become pure devotees. Because the modes of nature and the phenomena of material nature is always trying to pollute us, isn't it? And who is material nature being controlled by? Demigods. Hare Krishna. Does that answer your question? You have any comment on that? Panditji, Sri Radha Gopinath Prabhu?
We are not able to hear you, please.
हाँ
मतलब थोड़ा साइलेंस था तो मैं समझ में नहीं आ रहा था क्या.
सुना ही नहीं.
नहीं स्टार्टिंग का सुना हमने, पिछले 1-2 मिनट बाद कुछ
पूरा नहीं सुना क्या?
अभी लास्ट
सुनाई दिया
लास्ट के
क्लियर.
सुना ही नहीं
2
दिया.
मिनट साइलेंट था तो तब भी सुना था सबने.
सुना पूरा सुना.
पूरा सुना
Okay.
ब्रो. आपको कुछ मैं दूंगा, भेज दूंगा. See, Dhruv Maharaj, the ideal hero, you can hear the lecture. No?
Yes.
That it is there. Anyway, so thank you very much for your kind attention and presence. And I hope to become a proper servant by speaking this divine message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please bless me that I can follow at least 1% or 0.1% of whatever I spoke, so that I can become a better person for Vaishnavas too. Krishna Kirtan Prabhu is saying, okay, tapasya के बारे में क्या बोलने वाले थे? So in the Living Name book, His Holiness Satyendra Maharaj writes a beautiful point about when your tolerance reaches the boiling point. आपने पढ़ा है वो? What is the tolerance reaches the boiling point? So he tells the story of one Babaji in Nand Bhavan. No? So what happens is Babaji has been serving for whole life, and now he has become very old, in 80s, 90s, and he has not got any divine darshan of the Lord till now, anything. He has been serving very heartily Krishna Balaram Mandir. So then what happens? That he goes to Krishna Balaram, he says, पूरे जिंदगी सेवा किया तुम्हारा, एक बार भी कुछ प्रेम के कार्य, कुछ तो दर्शन देते, कुछ रस देते, कुछ होता तो समझते कि आप कृपालु हो. अरे कितनी बार तुम्हारे लिए भीख मांग मांग के लाया, तुम्हारे लिए प्रसाद भोग वगैरह, कुछ भी कम से कम एक बार दिखा देते कि तुम्हारे को मेरे ऊपर तरस आया है. कुछ कभी किया ही नहीं तुमने. शायद लगता है वो बोलते हैं राधा रानी ज्यादा कृपालु है. जाता हूँ मैं बरसाना अभी, यहाँ पे तो पता नहीं ये लोग खड़े हुए हैं, बस कुछ करते नहीं है. तो ऐसे बोले वो. एंड देन you see, to talk like this also you need some अधिकार हैं. ऐसे जाके बात मत कर लेना वृंदावन चंद्र से. He has offered his life fully. Then he's speaking in very strong, very deep. You will see what is his platform. So he speaks like that, and then he goes. He says, जा रहा हूँ मैं, अब बरसाना जा रहा हूँ, तुम संभाल लेना अपना. वैसे भी भगवान ही हो तुम, भगवान को अपना केयर खुद ही ले लेना चाहिए ना, मैं जा रहा। तो चल दिए वो, वॉकिंग, ही इज गोइंग, वेरी ओल्ड मैन, वॉकिंग फ्रॉम नंदगांव टू बरसाना। सो द व्रजवासी सेड, अरे वेयर आर यू? बाबा जी कहाँ जा रहे हो? पैदल निकलोगे मर जाओगे बीच में ही, कहाँ जा रहे हो पैदल? है नहीं, राधा रानी संभाल लेगी, राधा रानी यहाँ पे कोई कृपालु नहीं है, वहां पे रहते हैं ना हमारे। तो ऐसे बोले, वो चल दिए, चलते रहे, लोग रोक रहे हैं लेकिन रुक नहीं रहे, चले जा रहे। एंड में बस दो ही बच्चे उनको, अरे बाबा मत जाओ मत जाओ मत जाओ, नहीं जा रहे अभी। अरे तो फिर वो कृष्ण बलराम को दूध कौन देगा? अरे वो भगवान है, वो खुद ही संभाल लेगा ना, क्या मेरे को रोक रहे हो तुम लोग? नहीं, फिर वो पलट के देखते हैं ये दो कौन है ना, फिर वो बोलते हैं कि अरे हमको दूध कौन देगा ना, ना। तो वो दोनों कृष्ण बलराम ही थे। तो बस उनका दर्शन लेके वो वहीं पे he goes into Ashtavikar and falls. After one day, he leaves the planet. His body is found. He was smiling and absorbed in the Leela Swaran and he left. So, बोले ऐसे कई सारे बाबा जी इसका कथा है हमें वृंदावन में. Then he said a point. He said, we should know that whenever we are doing the tapasyas through the journey of our life, the heart of the Lord is melting. It is not that the Lord is not seeing, but you will get the reward at the end of life. So continue to do the tapasya. No, no. Like every day you come for the morning program, किसी तरह मर पिट के, अरे बोल आ गया, अरे बोल अटेंडर लग गया, कैमरे के सामने आ गया. So Lord is seeing, and if we have the right attitudes to please Him, then Lord is feeling melted. Because see, we are struggling, अभी जैसे, yesterday, okay, I'll not tell my side. So we have some our struggles, but Lord knows those struggles. And through those struggles, if we have the idea of that I'm able to do something, this life I'll struggle till the last breath, and then whatever Krishna feels, He will share, He will be He's a merciful, most merciful person. He'll do for me. So that faith we should carry, that all the efforts that we are doing, that personality who is so soft in his heart that he can give Putana also deliverance, then why will his heart not melt by genuine struggles to please him? So let me continue till the last breath for that. And we should not become impatient. Here he had become, na, अभी क्या तुमने कुछ दिया नहीं, तो इसलिए उन्होंने लिखा था when tolerance reaches the boiling point. So when we do efforts, sometimes you may become, very impatient कि क्या भगवान कुछ अभी तक टेस्ट नहीं आया, इतने साल हो गया टेस्ट ही नहीं आ रहा, क्या प्रभु जी, अभी 20 साल ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में 50 साल हो गया, अभी क्या टेस्ट नहीं आया. So शांति, कृष्णा इज देयर फॉर यू, कृष्णा विल रिवॉर्ड यू फुल हार्टेडली. जस्ट बी पेशेंट, पेशेंट को पेशेंट होना चाहिए. So that's what I wanted to mention, that the tapasya, Vaikuntha airline will come and take you back to Godhead. Just do the effort. हाँ, सेल्फ सेम बॉडी, या उनका कोई समाधि नहीं है ना, कोई समाधि है क्या उनका? समाधि नहीं है. ध्रुव महाराज वेंट इन सेम बॉडी ना, सेम बॉडी. यस. हैं? No, he didn't change. He went back to God. But his body got transformed. यार चेंज मतलब ऐसा ना कि ये बॉडी छोड़ के फिर वही बॉडी. यू वांट सेम बॉडी? हाँ, डोंट बी अटैच्ड टू दिस बॉडी. हाँ, लॉर्ड कैन डिसाइड व्हाट टू डू. ओके. श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna. So I think every devotee can would like to really appreciate and thank Prabhuji for his extra kind-heartedness and so beautifully taking us on this journey from beginning of life of Dhruva till the time he goes back to Godhead, and simultaneously teaching us from how to control our eating habits to deal with Vaishnavas, see the miseries in life, see the problems of life, and finally be grateful and ultimately be patient. So many lessons every class was filled with so many gems like realizations of Prabhuji. Although the topic is itself is very nice, but with Prabhuji's connections and beautiful, deep realizations, it became Sone Pe Suhaga. So we are very, very grateful, Prabhuji, and we are really sorry that you have to extend so much, despite of you so much of the extremely. The Prabhuji is telling thanking and tolerating us, but actually Prabhuji is so busy, is such packed, but still he extended so much because he's seeing, he's relishing this so much that he's going in that feeling of giving it more and more and more. So we are
Thank you very much,
grateful.
Prabhu, for your kindness. And actually, I really understood. This is a very powerful way to remember Bhagavatam. Now I will every month take some section of some place. But I just want to complete my GBC college and my own Bhakti Vaibhav and Bhaktivedanta Chalo hoga. But after that, every month I think I should take one section so that I will become very Krishna conscious. Because I could hear all lectures of Maharaj, all lectures of Radha Govind Maharaj. ऐसा तो feast हो गया मेरे लिए. एंड आप सब ने मेरे को बोलने का भी मौका दे दिया, तो बस और क्या. तो आप सब बहुत मेरे लिए आदरणीय और वंदनीय हैं. बहुत
So we
धन्यवाद.
hope and pray Prabhuji gives his association like this again, as he is feeling so happy.
और कितना पकना चाहोगे? पक जाओगे मेरे से, फिर बोलोगे बस हो गया प्रभु जी. Okay.
Prabhuji was
Thank
also
you.
very sick actually.
Thank you.
He is not able to stand and walk also. Still, he extended a much. He's taking medicine, treatments, and very weak. So to extend, to take extra classes, that is too much. Very inspiring.
हरे कृष्ण. श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय. श्रीमद्
Let's chant
you very
भागवतम
much.
की
good time Hare
जय.
Krishna
ध्रुव
Mahamantra.
महाराज की
Thanking
जय.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare.
हरे
His Grace
बोल.
Anatrdvip Prabhu ki.
श्रील
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. ध्रुव महाराज की जय. निताई गौर
Jai.
प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि
Hare
बोल.
Ram.
Hare Ram.
चलो.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.